We are back. About my notebook. Alright. I was doing this on the other channel. This thing with the notebook, I've been debriefing. And the thing is, it's like, whatever, people seem to like it on the other channel, and the thing is, like, those aren't really any of my friends or anything, so I thought, well, I'll just do it here too, but now, like, I'm self-conscious again, like, but, like, I don't know, but, okay, here's just, whatever, obviously, I wouldn't have the green light and everything unless I thought this would be, like, funny to do, but the thing is, what I've been doing with the notebook on the other thing is just debriefing, that is, like, going over things that have happened and just, like, debriefing. And the thing that hopefully I don't need the notebook to remember what I was going to say, but the thing is, I wanted to debrief about Sabrina more, because while I'm like in the mood to do it, because the thing is, whatever, here's this thing about Sabrina and what I want to say about Sabrina, because you forget things that happen, and they're important. They're important politically, they're important for my life, things that happen in my life. Okay, look, I'll cut to the chase. I never met anyone like Sabrina before, and I definitely never hung out with anyone for 6 months straight like this, like with someone like Sabrina, ever. And maybe I'm just like a country bumpkin in my own way that never get got around, and people like me are notorious for like slumming it because like we're tourists, but like but I never met anyone like Sabrina before. And the thing is, let me put it this way, Sabrina was a primitive person, and I mean that with a lot of affection. But Sabrina was primitive, and the thing is, most of what she did that was funny is too disgusting and like too vulgar to put in a video. But the thing is, like, she was a primitive person. I never met anyone like that before. And the thing is, the reason I was hanging out with her, damn, see, I do need the notebook. Here's the point. First of all, here's the thing. I never met anyone that's superstitious either. The thing is, she should do this thing, but she'd say you can't split the pole. And what it is we'd be walking down the street, and whatever, there's a point to this, but the thing is, whatever, we'd be walking down the street holding hands, and we'd go past, we could be going through a lamppost, and I go to let go of her hand, and she'd say, no, we have to go around it. You see, you can't split the pole, it's bad luck. And she did all kinds of tripped out shit with the salt at the dinner table, and she, what else, she crossed herself and went by a church. Matter of fact, that was interesting too. Whenever she got arrested or was going to go to jail for a while, she'd ask them to give her a Bible, which apparently they do. I mean, because, right, why not? I never knew anyone who had asked, but right, why not? To give her a Bible so she could read what she called the Book of Revelations. She called it the Book of Revelations, and read about the mark of the beast, and it was like her thing, and she's like, I read about the mark of the beast, and I'm in jail, and everyone left her alone. She's there with her Bible, and tell you something else about Sabrina is she spoke fluent French, which was really interesting. I talked in my other video about how she didn't consider herself a white person, and she was always making fun of me and saying, like, you're such a white person, and she didn't think she was white. But the thing is, what did she think she was? Well, she said she was French, and she spoke fluent French, and I never met an uneducated person who spoke fluent French before. And once again, maybe I haven't gotten around. Her level of, like, education was she was really, like, proud and arrogant that she finished high school. Like, the people around where she was from, they didn't finish high school. She considered herself very educated, she finished high school, but she didn't learn fluent French like that in high school. And quite frankly, I don't know what the story was. People say to me, well, she's Cajun. She wasn't like I don't know what a Cajun person is like. I thought I did, but that's not what a Cajun person is like, to my knowledge. The point is, she was just a mystery, this girl, and she was just primitive in her, like, ways and everything. And she had a bunch of other things like that. But here's what was interesting, okay? Why was I hanging out with her? Because the whole theory I had, and I think it's true, and I think most guys at least would agree with me, that if you're going to do something that takes a lot of courage and that's really risky and that no one's going to understand, you like need a female with you, like, to cheer you on and say you're doing the right thing no matter how crazy it is. That, like, that was just a necessity to have a female with me during this project, which is I was doing something that still people don't really understand, which I was getting out of psychiatry once and for all. And look, if you're not in it the way I was in it, people say that doesn't make any sense. What do you mean no one was forcing you to do anything? And if people are in it, then they say, oh, this just sounds crazy. If you ever meet anyone that was in it and wanted it stopped, because it was harming their life, and they got out of it some other way than I did, fine. But until you meet someone who was in it and said, I don't like this anymore, my life's getting smaller, it's harming me, I don't know who I am anymore, I want this to stop, and they were able to stop, fine. But until you meet someone like that, I'm saying I'm the only person you know like that then. Because the only way out was out. And yes, I had to go to a weird place and dump all the psych meds down the toilet at once. And in truth, that someone did go impersonate me at a bank to go find me, and like it was very difficult to get out of. Okay, fine, big deal. But the thing is, it's still a free country. I haven't done anything wrong, and crazy is as crazy does. And my life was over anyway, to be honest with you. I was going to end up a suicide. So that's what I did. But I needed someone with me, okay? So I met Sabrina when I came down there. We met in a crystal shop. We both had this like realization that we might be good luck for each other, which is really weird. And we hung out. Now here's what's interesting, okay? Sabrina had all this identification with what I was doing. Why? Which I didn't expect. I mean, I thought she was just gonna be like, okay, this is a little nuts, but like, you want to grow with you. But no, she had all this identification. Why? Because the reason she'd grown up apparently with her uncle is that when she was a teenager, Child Protective Services had come, the state had come and removed her from her mother's house, put her in with her uncle, and stuck her mother in the state mental institution. And she did not apparently perceive that her childhood was abusive. She loved her mother. It's true, she said she missed a lot of school because she'd be taking care of her mother because her mother didn't feel well. But she did not think the state had the right to come in and remove her from the home and claim that this was an abusive home when it was a loving home. It was a little strange, maybe, because her mother was sick and she was taking care of her mother, but she said that she did not see any reason that her mother should be stuck in the institution, and that she should have had to go live with her uncle, who was like a drug dealer and who ended up, you know, whatever. And the point is, she had a beef with psychiatrists. And what's interesting is she shared my politics, because in addition to this identification with what I was doing, getting out of psychiatry, she, the thing is, like, a lot of people assume that people like her, that their politics would be that they hate the rich and they think that, like, people shouldn't be allowed to make so much money and that they should redistribute everyone's money like Robin Hood. And that's not true at all. She never, but she, like a lot of people in this, what political economists would call the lumpen criminal class, like really respected all capitalists and respected people with money. Who she hated were what I call the coordinator class. That is to say, her psychiatrists, the social workers who'd taken her out of her mother's home, her lawyer, her doctor, all the effete snobs who condescended to her, who made her feel like a whore because she got arrested for prostitution sometimes, and who had this monopoly on these little bits of knowledge and could say, you have to leave your mother's home and you're going to go here and you're an idiot and you're going to jail, and treated her like a piece of shit. She hated the coordinator class. And she really liked the idea that if she was revolutionary, what she'd be fighting against would be what's coming, which is a world where the people who have their boot on your neck are all trained psychologists. Okay, and where angry people are pathologized, and weirdos like me that are like a little different and like quirky, like get pathologized and stuck in nut houses, and that's what we're fighting against. The creation of a society of normopaths, and it's not capitalism, it's which people like her and me hate, which is this coordinator class who are building what is centrally planned coordinatorism. That is, each class, first of all, you have to know how many there are and identify them. And she and I used to talk about this. Because, see, you can't talk about this on the tube, you can't talk about this on the Facebook, because everyone gets pissed off and says, you don't know what you're talking about. But the point is, when you got someone like me and someone like Sabrina looking from these opposite ends, like, I'm not trying to be super humble. When I talk to her, though, there's a lot of things I'm aware of that she is not aware of. There's also a lot of things that she's aware of that I was not aware of. And we could talk about that and have a dialogue about it. And what we find out is we're both concerned about the same thing. Centrally planned coordinatorism, which is why a lot of people think that why does it feel like we might be like it's the Soviet Union? Because the structural features are a certain way, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she had all this identification with what I was doing, and she had a wonderful heart. And you know something, like, she helped me through this really difficult period. And, whatever, I got off on the thing about that, but whatever, I just wanted to make a video about her and about all this bullshit, because like that was someone I really was like a spiritual sister to me, and I spent 6 months with her and she saved my life, and it's the reason I'm here now and able to be just cool and like, you know, like work my shit out on my own. And I don't know, I feel like I got lost the point, but whatever, she was just a really cool person, and I was debriefing about her. I might have to redo this video because this was like a little much, and I don't know, obviously I had like more I was pissed off about than whatever. But it's okay. There really are good people in the world, and they help you out even when we're, I mean, believe me, like, you know, people like me and her, like, no one likes us. So she was a really wonderful person, and, you know, to everyone out there in YouTube land, you know, long live the revolution.